about it. And when I got there, to their Viacom MTV Studios for an interview, they told me their servers had a meltdown that day. They had a all hands on deck
Oh
day
my
where they
god.
had to call everyone into the office because apparently the Haloid melted the internet on their end. So, and then that's where it all started. And then, we already talked about the rest between Namco and Midway, and here I am. So, my advice to anyone out there, if you've got free time, kick that shit into, gear and just do something, because there's instant publicity right there if you've got the right tools and the right idea, I mean, it's just so easy to get noticed if you just latch onto the right idea, and I don't see why no one else is doing it, because honestly, I don't think I'm that good an animator, because I taught myself. Hell, I don't think I could make a decent run cycle to save my life. So I bet you I could do a breakdown right now if we were streaming my video of like people's feet backwards, and like sometimes I'd use an anim like 6 times in a row. Like there's a backspin kick that I've saved where I would just raise and lower the leg based on position or mirror the anim if I wanted it to look different, that I must have used like 8 times in Dead Fantasy 2, So it's like, I'm not that good. I just make the right choices,
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, like when I saw like those animations and stuff, like I did see like, oh, whoa, this guy's wrist is freaking out or whatever. But,
yeah, right.
Yeah,
it's like
it doesn't matter though. Like when you see like Seth's Ultra One in Street Fighter 4, like his wrist it completely shrinks. Like there's no corrective blend. There's nothing there. All the weights are messed up. But who cares?
It's like see, the easiest thing to say about me is that I'm an animator, but the truth is I do way more than that, because I also have to model, rig, texture, build sets, do sound, edit. These are like all individual jobs within a video production alone.
Yeah.
Like that get delegated to like 20 or 30 people, and like I'm doing it all, so none of it can be perfect. In fact, a lot of it has to be wrong, and I just have to blow past it in order to get it right, or not to get it right, to get it done. Done is way more important than right, because if you get caught up in that perfection, you'll be stuck there forever. There's a comparison. In fact, there's a breakdown on disc 2 of Wally.
Okay.
It's called Breakdown of a Shot, and they're like, this guy built this box over in the background over here, and this guy textured this, and this guy lit this, and this guy did these effects, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And at the end of it, they showed it was like a list of like 80 or 100 something people, and the producer summed it up. He said, if one talented artist was to take this shot alone out of the 200 or so shots in the movie, it would take them 446 years to complete it at this quality.
Jeez.
It's like, okay, that's why you don't aim for perfection, but that's why Pixar movies have a staff of over 200 and take 4 years to make. I'm not Pixar, so I just want to get my shit done, and the reason my stuff is taking longer now, I'm getting caught up in that frame by frame, like, hey, this looks really good,
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Hey, let's do a match, because I'm sure people are visually getting bored.
Oh no. I'm actually gonna separate the stuff that we were playing, and then separate the rest off into like a different video of just us like chilling.
Dude, see, I look at your videos and it feels like it's unedited to me.
100%. Oh yeah. Okay. If you want to talk about cutting corners to get shit done, look at any of my videos. There's
Really?
a reason why there are no player names on there. There's a reason why I don't put the Slade on the gameplay videos. It's
Really?
because I don't open up Final Cut if I don't have an exceptionally important reason to.
Oh yeah.
It's just in one end and out the other, man.
Yeah. See, like, your casual Fridays or your Super Turtle Saturdays. It's like it feels like you and Damn Die are just chilling out in front of it.
Yep.
Watching the vid, and just. I think that's the appeal. It's the fast turnaround I would recommend on your end.
Yeah.
It's such a great thing. Like, I think that's one of my greatest weaknesses right now, is that it takes me 6 to 8 months to make a movie, and people just forget.
Yeah,
but when I come back, I make a splash. But like guys like Freddie W, they release week after week of like a minute, and then that's why he's got 36 or so million views on his channel. It's just the nature of the internet now. Low attention span, high content.
High quantity.
Yeah, which
I was really inspired by like Gutex and Arlieth and Shogo and everybody, with Rockefeller too on the Third Strike Rambats in LA.
Oh yeah.
for Family Fun Arcade and stuff like that. And every month or whatever, they would release a video that would be like the top 10 or the top 8 matches of that tournament, and had like all sorts of cool editing and had like a cool intro and everything. And then like I would, and you know, after I started my thing, and maybe like 2 or 3 years after seeing those for the first time, and then like 2 or 3 years after running my own thing or whatever, I met Gutex for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And then I told him, I was like, dude, if you cut your quality level in half, but spit out double the content, then I would have donated so much money or whatever. Like I would have done like this. That would have made my life. Because
Right.
the only reason I started making videos was because I was so sick of waiting for you guys to make videos.
Right. Right.
So,
right.
like, and then he was like, dude, I really wish somebody told me.
No, I know, and I wish I could do that with mine because it just takes a long fucking time.
Well, making movies is different.
Right. But no, your channel is great because okay, one of my habits, it's like I'm working, right? I've got 5 monitors in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
At least 2 of them are always dedicated to some sort of special features from a DVD, which is why I can always quote them, or some sort of playlist from YouTube on someone's channel of either a game that I don't have time to play. Like I watched all of Final Fantasy 13 because I just don't have time to play it.
Oh,
but
jeez.
it's a cinematic game anyway, so
Yeah, yeah, sure.
RPGs are fine to watch.
Yeah, like
So-
people that were playing were also watching that game. So it's
Right,
okay.
right. So lately, I've been really enjoying the fighting game channels because you search for a game's playlist and you've got and almost like 90% of them say with commentary. I'm like, God, I don't want to hear you talk
Oh.
because it depends on the game. But the flip side of that is fighting game commentaries is always great because the guy talking knows the shit what he's talking about. Which is great. That's why I've been going to your channel every day and just playing a playlist. And the reason I have something playing is because I'm working, and it's like having the radio on. If it's too quiet, your head just starts wandering, and you just like your productivity goes up when you just have noise going on in the background. And it's great because your channel, it's like I get information about the fighting game scene that I can't get on my own because I'm just don't have time for it. And oh shit! You found out running crying.
yeah. Like the particle effects are parented to the character control itself.
Right.
Yeah. I
Man,
had fun playing with that.
You do know a lot about state machines and stuff.
Oh, I designed the state machine that we have at work.
Oh really?
I
Is
mean,
it
like
for-
I didn't implement it. You know, the engineer coded it, but like.
Is it for a game?
Oh no, it's for interactive advertising experiences.
I see.
Yeah,
Man,
but I script all the behaviors of the characters too.
really? Man, you would love game design. You really
Dude,
would.
I know, but
Why did you say no to Ninja Theory? It's
I didn't know. I mean, it's just like,
it's one foot in the door. Like that's the thing. Once you're in game design, more jobs in game design are
you know what it
automatic
is,
after
dude?
that.
You know what it is?
What?
Because if I left New York, I would have basically left frameadvantage.com behind too.
Oh, okay. That's.
See that's the crazy thing to me, because honestly I had actually worked on a couple like mods and stuff like that, a couple mods that actually got a good amount of attention and stuff too, like while I was still a student. And but the thing is I didn't really like them. Like the main one that I worked on was a World War II shooter.
Oh yeah.
And like, you know, I was just I was animating reloads of guns and like people going prone and rolling around and that kind of stuff. And I realized like I'm not sure if I really want to work in games.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I don't know that I like games. I
Do you
like
know-
Street Fighter and I like Ninja Gaiden. That doesn't mean I want to work on any game.
That is absolute truth because that's exactly what I said when Midway came to me. I said, I like games, but am I really good for it? And you know, I'm pretty sure I'm fairly certain I made the right choice because you get a different perspective once you're in games, right? After Namco went all to craziness and like we were scrambling to find new jobs, there were like, you know, 6 other game companies around the corner, and I was very close to just working at Crystal Dynamics for their new Tomb Raider.
Oh, okay.
But it's like, but I also had the flip side of the decision. It's like, do I really want to do this again? Do I want to dedicate 4 years of my life to something that may not be good based on you and the decisions of 200 other people? Right?
Yeah.
Which is why Red versus Blue here is the greatest job in the world. It's like, first thing I said, come here, master of your own fate. You know, it's like we have at the time we had 11 employees, and only 2 of them actually decide what goes on in the show. And I went from being, a combat designer, animator, to just, I don't even know if I have a title here. If it was, I'd be lead head of animation production department.
Nice.
Right? We don't even have titles here, but I do everything that's involved in animation. And like I said before, we are making a full-length feature film once the episodes get to DVD. It's a 2-hour animated movie that I will have helmed solo,
Yeah, that's amazing.
I'm doing the modeling, the set design, the choreography, and the action sequences, the decision alone of what the action sequences is. And one of the sweet things about working here is they bought a motion capture set for me to work.
Oh, wow.
I have my own dedicated motion capture set. You look at last season, I do the moves for everything. And it's like,
So
if you want,
cool.
you would know, the difference between animation, like hand keying something from scratch versus working off a motion capture.
Oh,
Now
yeah,
they're both,
it's night and day, yeah.
yeah, they're both work, but the difference is if I want to get a 3,000 frame scene done,
Yeah.
I just stand up and do it.
Yeah.
I just stand up and do it. And this is why not only Red vs. Blue for season 9 is going to be great, but also the future Dead Fantasies are going to be great, because
Oh crap, I didn't even think of that. Wow, they let you do that stuff for your own work?
yeah, absolutely. It's like,
I guess you're playing with me right now from work.
right. The best about, one, I woke up at 5 o'clock today and came into work.
Wait, 5 p.m.?
5 p.m.
What the hell's wrong with you?
I'm a night person. I'm nocturnal. Okay.
Oh, man.
As in, like, I work from. Well, lately I've been sleeping like 3 hours a day. But I woke up at 5 p.m. Got some food, got my coffee, came straight to work,
Oh, wow.
talking with you. But a normal night would be I'd be working on animations and everything else that's involved till about maybe 10 a.m., 11 a.m. Late enough in the morning that people are here that I can catch up with them. But yeah, and no one says.
I was wondering why you weren't like responding to any of my messages like during the day.
Just because I was
Because you were sleeping, yeah. That's ridiculous.
But I am. It's a weird thing, but I truly am a fucking vampire. Because like, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's less people bother you during the night, because I mean, I'd get here at 5, sometimes 7 or 9 p.m. at night, just straight up get something playing, or just blast music at the fucking top of my speakers and just rock out throughout the 3 a.m. through whatever morning, partying solo at night. At my job. This is my job. Right now I'm running around in Dead or Alive's chat room talking to you. This is my job. And it's like no one questions your commitment, because it's not like a corporate job where it's like, if you don't do it, someone else will pick up the slack. I am the slack. If I don't do it, this movie is not going to get done. Period. We will not have a DVD for the Christmas season. So, but I like having that responsibility. The pressure really kicks my ass into gear, So like, I have my priorities straight. If I don't get Dead Fantasy done this year, my fans will cry. But it doesn't pay the bills. It's not my bread and butter. But if I don't get RVB done this year, that's a lot of people's necks, because this is our main IP. This is our main. You should check out our new our recent season last year. Check out season 8, episode 3, 4, 8, or 19. Like last season, a full-length movie with three fight sequences that I did. And it was a big deal because we unveiled it at PAX East last year, and no one saw it coming. So a 5,000 people audience, we're like, we're having our panel. I'm complete secret. I'm like ninja at this company. No one else here. And like, even if there was a podcast and they'd mention this new guy, they couldn't mention me by name, because then they'd know instantly what I was working on. This season, PAX East comes around last year, and I'm sitting in the audience with everyone else while the main guys are up on the panel talking. And like, okay, so here we brought episodes 1 through 3.5 because 4 isn't done. And midway through episode 3, a fucking warthog blasts through a wall, and suddenly it's my stuff. It's action. It's like people fighting and shit. And people they're like, what the fuck? How did this happen? When would Red vs. Blue get so kick-ass? And it's like, oh. And then they said, and then after the video was like, how did you do that? And they're like, Bernie gets up on stage. Bernie, who plays Church, he's like, "So I think we need to explain ourselves. About a few months ago, we hired this guy, Monty Oum, and everyone's like, Monty Oum, oh my God, he's awesome!" And it's like, oh. And that's why this looks like this. And then, a year later, we have a movie done, and it totally revamps it, because you go to most people, you say, yeah, you hear of Red vs. Blue? Yeah, I watched it. It was pretty good. I stopped watching at about season 3.
Yeah.
It's because they really couldn't
they milked everything. They did everything they could.
Yeah, they kind of hit a rut at like Halo 2, and it's like and they wanted to very much evolve it, but they couldn't without outside help. They tried doing an animated thing, and it was only after I went through the stint with Namco and Midway that I was like, okay, now I want to do my own thing. And if my own thing means doing it with someone else, obviously, because I need to have a day job, and I can't make money off of Dead Fantasy because I would fucking get sued to shit.
Yeah.
But man, you remember a few several months ago, there was that Square Enix tried to buy Tecmo, and people, I can't tell you how many messages I got, like, oh my God, Dead Fantasy is gonna be a real thing because Live's owned by Tecmo and Square Enix is gonna buy them. But anyways, yeah, it's like, this is the greatest job in the world. It really is. And it's like, even though I'm not working on exactly what I want to do, it sure as hell is better than answering to 200 other people on whether or not you can actually work on it. It's like, I want to make something awesome, but when it comes to a corporate job, this is something I only could have learned after working at corporate jobs. It's like, but there's still a power from above that makes decisions on whether or not you can do it, which is, it's a shitty thing about anything game industry, because everything in terms of, unless you're making indie games, which already get that stigma of like, yeah, but it won't look that cool. It's like games just instinctively, all right, this game needs to be good, let's throw 200 people on this. And it's like, that's 200 other people that are going to influence whether or not you actually get to do your thing, which it kind of sucks. So, which is great here. It's like master your own fate, but you've got the burden of responsibility. But if you really know how to kick ass, then it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how, what that burden is, because if you can man up to it, then that's you making history right there. So it is really cool.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, so you being 23 years old, man, you complaining to make. You got a whole world ahead of you.
Yeah, I actually, honestly, I can't wait for this video to be over, because then I could explain to you what my plans are.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's, yeah. I got big plans, dude.
I wish we could have met up at PAX, because I'm sure we would have chilled out.
Honestly, like, the reason why I didn't go is it's all because of the Mortal Kombat demo. So,
oh, yeah.
I don't know if you saw, like, on my YouTube channel, like, at one point, like, I was, like, the number 20-something viewed channel on all of YouTube.
Oh,
and
yeah.
That was all 100% because of Super Street Fighter 4 at PAX. Like, Justin called me one time, and then he was like, hey man, are you going to PAX tomorrow? I'm like, no. Why would I go there? And he's like, no, Super Street Fighter 4 is gonna be there, dude. Nobody knows. It's gonna be secret. You have to come. And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna get in so much trouble for telling you, but you have to come. And then
I remember that. Shit, that's right. You're talking about PAX last year.
Yeah. And so I went, and then like, first I asked Seth. I was like, hey Seth, are you gonna bring Super? And then he's like, I don't know what you're talking about, dude. But he like said it in a way that okay, I think I should go. So I went, and then I got so much
you were
footage.
there?
Yeah, I actually was there, but I was just chilling with Super Street Fighter 4 the whole time. I didn't see anything else.
Okay. See, I was, Faye Mata?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm friends with her, and I was hanging out with her. And we probably went up to the game room and watched a few games. I bet you I was standing right next to you at some point or another. I was actually looking for Justin this PAX. Because I gotta personally apologize to that guy. I guess I can do it here in front of everyone.
Okay.
Because I met Justin Wong 10 years ago, right? There was an arcade. I don't fucking remember the name, but it was an arcade that was in New Hampshire, I think. But it was actually in Woonsocket for a while. We had a tournament, and Justin came with his crew, and they were. I thought at the time, this was maybe 8 years ago, and I'm like, well, who are these assholes? Why do they think they're so much better than everyone? We're good too. And then I was, joining the Rumblefish tournament. Rumblefish was a pretty decent tournament at the time. I'm like, yeah, these guys are dicks. Why do they think they're so much better than us? And like I carried that with me for several years afterwards of like,
Oh,
man, this
no.
guy thinks he's so much better than everyone. But you know what the truth is? He was better than us. We were really small time then. I gotta personally apologize to Justin for thinking, and then I've been hearing interviews with him about how he likes picking characters he likes, and it's just overall game philosophy. And it's like, no, this guy is really, really solid in terms of his opinion and stuff. I was the asshole, you know. I'm the asshole for thinking he was an asshole because.
No, I'll tell you what though. I'm gonna have to apologize to Justin also, but Justin, like, I don't think Justin's an asshole, right? But I absolutely think he was an asshole.
Oh, really?
In the past.
I don't know. Well, and the thing is, okay, I see in other videos people talking about how he isn't winning tournaments as much anymore.
Yeah.
It's because he's flexing his maturity of not having to prove himself, or stuff like that, or just the fact that he plays characters to make them look good. He said in your in the lab, it's like games need to be more than what they are. That's a really high level opinion, if you ask me, and that deserves a crazy amount of respect because he's not picking the top tier character to win, which is the worst thing about fighting games, if you ask me. It's like that's why I never played MVC2.
Personally, I think it's a necessary evil.
It's absolutely true. It's true because for some people this is their livelihood, and Justin also it's his job now, so he kind of has to do it too. But like it goes back to what we were talking about. It's like it's a necessary evil, but it's also what makes the game fun. But I hate going into the game and see like I like this character, I want to play him, but I can't use him, if I want to be taken seriously. So there's so many sides to this, and it sucks, but it's true. It's like it's part of what makes the game fun.
Like I actually have a really unpopular opinion about this, which is why I'm going to share it on the internet for everybody. But when somebody takes a low tier character and wins a tournament, I hate it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Because like everybody's like, oh, that's so cool. It proves that, human capability of playing the game is more important than like the factors of the game itself, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And like,
I know what you're going to say. I know what you're going to say. It's that then the design has faltered.
No,
right?
No. That's actually not what I'm going to say. Because that's an X factor. You're not sure whether the game is. That's not enough information to go on whether the game is broken. But what it does prove is broken is the tournament. If somebody with an S tier character gets beaten by someone with an F tier character, that means that they are not playing at a level high enough that the tiers matter. Which means that the whole tournament was a goddamn waste of time. So like, it kills me. Like,
and you do a lot of tournaments, so you know a lot about this in terms of like,
And then I you know how it is. Like you make videos on the internet, so like all these ridiculous comments come out, and then you just want to respond to them. I don't know if you get this too, but I'm like, I want to call these comments out and like, no, you're so wrong, or like, no, who are you to be saying this and that? But I don't know. So honestly, like obviously it happens. Like at the last tournament that I did, the team with the Sentinel not on it lost, and the guy that won the tournament had Phoenix on his team, but actually ended up dropping her, and that's how he was able to come back from losers. But the reason why those are okay, in my opinion, is because first of all, the game is new. We don't know everything about it. And second of all, because even all these, like even though there are these perceived huge, tier list differences, they are still way compressed compared to what they have been in the past in other fighting games.
Yes, and I think I like that because it's good design. I've gone over this 1,000 times. I want to be able to play a character I want, but diversity is a good thing. Diversity is good, and that's what kept me out of MVC2. It's like I don't want to use this character, so I'm really glad. Like I've been, queuing up Evo vids, and I'm looking at Evo tournaments, and I'm like, oh, wow, so many characters are getting used. This is great. I like seeing variety. It's just my kick as a combat designer. I want, like, if I put the work in to making this many characters in the game, and it ends up being just this one, it's like, that's kind of disappointing on the developer side of like, well, there you go. That's the useless amount of work, etc.
All right. Okay. So if you were a designer, if this is not your game, you're not the lead here, right?
Right.
If you were a designer on a fighting game, and you are allowed to make one system, like what would you do to it?